So, back for week 10, the final week of the regular season of the XDL, and this week I'm going to be going up against Steph of Anime. Last week, week 9, I got an activity win against Sierra Dawn, so that's why there was no match for that week. I should also just quickly mention that I did drop Berserker for Cottony, so now I do have Cottony. Not going to do anything this week, but nice to have the mascot back, considering Berserker was not going to do anything. So, yeah, this is a win-and-in match. I'm currently 5-4, and if I lose this match, then I will finish 9th. The tiebreakers are completely against me. There's no way that I can go 5-5 and still make top cut at this point. But if I go 6-4, it's guaranteed. So this is essentially a win-and-in match against Steph of Anime here. So I'm definitely going all out for this one. Articuno is where I'm going to start off with. Even though I'm not actually planning on bringing Articuno to the match, it's just alphabetical order because that's the best order. But yeah, this is more like a might as well kind of thing. Weakness policy is pretty good and it wasn't on any other Pokemon, so just might as well. If I get a Calm Mind up before the Lapras goes for a Resonance, then I will be able to take it a bit more comfortably and then get the weakness policy going, maybe get something going with that regards. If there's something like a Breaking Swipe coming out from the Garchomp to try and put a stop to my physical attackers, then competitive can still activate. So yeah, not too bad, but probably not going to be bringing it to this match. They've only got one flying resist in the Magna Zone, so flying is actually pretty good here. So if I do get a weakness policy going on the Articuno, and if I decide to go for a Dynamax, then Max Airstream at +2 is going to put in a lot of work against her team, but probably going to Max Airstream with something else. So Articuno is like, might as well make a set for the 6th Pokemon, even if you're not going to bring it, just in case. But yeah, I'm not planning on bringing Articuno here. So Kartana, I'm going to be running the Razor Claw here in combination with the Leaf Blade, getting a 50% critical hit. Probably not going to work against the Lapras because most likely Shell Armor. You would assume Shell Armor over Water Absorb because who cares about Tapu Fini? Even I don't care about Tapu Fini. So yeah, it's more to crit the other thing that's not the Lapras through the Aurora Veil that it can set up. So 50% chance to just completely ignore the screens could be very nice here. And got the substitute there because one of the best ways of dealing with Lapras in VGC is just to stall out the Dynamax of the Lapras. It's really bad when it's not in Dynamax. It's pretty good when it's in Dynamax, but not worth when it's not. So if I can just stall out in the early game, if she decides to go for Lapras and max it turn 1, like seems to happen with a lot of Lapras teams, if I can just stall out that Dynamax and respond with my own later on, then that puts me at a huge advantage. So Substitute is going to be a really good way of stalling out that Lapras Dynamax. I have the potential to go for 3 Substitutes and just completely ignore the Resonance. I'll sacrifice 75% of my Kartana's HP, but then I'll just use up the Dynamax of the Lapras. So yeah, Substitute's going to be very good here. Also helps against potential Trick Room leads, so I can stall out Trick Room a bit easier, because I can just go for Substitute, Detect, Substitute, etc. To be able to stall it out. And it gives me a bit of safety if the Blaziken or the Salazzle are not on the field in preparation for when they do hit the field. So Salazzle is definitely concerning for the Kartana. Blaziken is a little bit concerning as well, but has to protect first to be able to get itself faster. I can't do too much back to it with the Sacred Sword. I'll do a reasonable chunk, but if I've got the substitute, if I substitute on the Blaziken Protect, that could be very good as well. But yeah, the Salazzle is a little bit concerning, but we'll get to that. It's pretty standard Kartana. It just outspeeds the Garchomp and then just max special defense. I think the calc did something, but I can't remember what it was because I keep making these calcs a few days before I even do the recording, because then I still think about the team across the week. So that if there's any small changes I want to make, then I can. But yeah, I've forgotten what this. I'm pretty sure it does something. Even if it's if not, it's just a outspeeds Garchomp and then max special defense. Tapu Fini here, going to be dual screens. Like I said, stall out the Lapras Dynamax is a very good way of beating it. Screens will help out a lot with that because it will reduce the damage output that the Lapras can do. So I'll be able to survive easier even if I don't Dynamax. Like the plan is to not Dynamax until the Lapras is done with Dynamax. So screens will definitely help out with that. Got the Light Clay to extend it even more. And then got Nature's Madness and Heal Pulse. So I can still do damage to the Tapu Fini and, again, stall out with the screens, get my other Pokemon back to full HP with the Heal Pulse just to do a bit of stalling. So this is one of the potential leads. So I'm either going to lead with Weavile and something or Tapu Fini and something. Weavile to either get the Fake Out Pressure or Tapu Fini to get the screens up. So could potentially match the screens of the Lapras with the dual screens. Not too much to say about the Tapu Fini though. Got the Misty Surge instead of Telepathy because I want to counteract the Rillaboom's Grassy Surge. That's kind of standard. Could block some Sings coming out from the Clefairy as well. I outspeed. What did I outspeed? I outspeed my own Zapdos and Articuno as well, so I can go for Nature's Madness before they attack. But the speed definitely did something. I think it was trying to catch something outspeeding my Pokemon, maybe. But it was fast enough to do something, and again, like I said, I made these spreads a few days ago. I can't remember what I outspeed. I think I started with the Zapdos outspeeding something at +1. And then, yes, that's the one. That's the one. Outspeeding Salazzle, of course it is. Outspeeding Salazzle after an Airstream. So, but slightly faster because Zapdos does that, and then Articuno did that 1 point faster, and then Tapu Fini needs to be 1 point faster than that so that it can Nature's Manifest. So that's what the speed did, and then just dumped defense. So didn't need any offensive capabilities, and kind of didn't want to waste EVs by having to have 4 in one of them if I like split at all. So yeah, I just decided to just dump defense, so I can take on the Garchomp a bit better as well. But nothing too specific for the defenses. It's just get the speed I want, and then not waste any EVs, even though it doesn't actually matter. But yeah, this Weavile is really cool. So Salazzle is definitely a concern for the Kartana. I don't have my Nidoqueen this match, so I'm not going to be able to hit it with a stab 4 times super effective move. But Weavile gets Dig. Power Herb is an item. That could be a one-shot on the Salazzle. There's the only way that I can see that Weavile can one-shot the Salazzle. If it's holding a Focus Sash, I'll get to fake it out first, theoretically, because I outspeed the Salazzle. So I can go for a fake out, break any Focus Sash, and then follow up with a Power Herb Dig to get the KO. It also hits the Magnezone pretty well. Doesn't knock it out in one, but it'll do like 80% to it, which is a huge chunk. And that will free up my Zapdos quite a bit. So yeah, Power Herb Dig, I really want it to come through in this match. I just need to land into that Salazzle or the Magnezone. Can't hit the Lapras, like, at all with this Weavile, and I've been debating that 4th move for a little while. It's been Fake Tears, it's been Screech, depending on whether I wanted to Fake Tears for the Xurkitree, Screech for the Kartana or the Zapdos, but probably still going to go with Taunts, mainly for Clefairy, mainly for Trick Room as well, since the Ordino or the Comfey can be setting up the Trick Room, and the Sigilyph as well, to be fair, could be setting up the Trick Room. Hopefully I'm not going to run into any Mental Herbs, but we will see. And I've got Icicle Spear here, because I don't want to, one, miss Triple Axle, because I can't afford to run the Wide Lens this week, because I've got to run the Power Herb if I want Dig to work, and also I don't want to be taking 3 rounds of Rough Skin if I Ice Move a Garchomp. Icicle Crash can miss the Garchomp as well, and 2 Icicle Spears is enough to OHKO the Garchomp with that attack investment. So Icicle Spear is enough for this case, and yeah, I didn't feel the need for any potential flinches because I prefer accuracy. And the Icicle Spear can be a lot stronger than... It has the potential to be stronger than the Icicle Crash anyway. But yeah, 2 Icicle Spears was enough. If they're a bulky Garchomp, it will need 3. But then that's still, what, a 60% chance to knock out the Garchomp in one? Because it's, what, 40, 40, 10, 10 for the 2, 3, 5, 6? 2, 3, 5, 6. I can count properly. I'm a maths teacher. 2, 3, 4, 5 is the numbers I was looking for. And it can survive a Grassy Glide from the Rillaboom with the defensive investment. So... Xurkitree, pretty standard, like, those are standard moves. There's a Gastron on the team, so there's Energy Ball. There's a Garchomp on the team, so there's Dazzling Gleam, and then there's Thunderbolt. But I'm not planning on Dynamaxing the Xurkitree. Like, some of my plans have completely gone out of the water, but we'll see. But I'm not planning on Dynamaxing the Xurkitree. I'm planning on Dynamaxing the Zapdos instead. So, like I said, stall out the Dynamax of the Lapras, and then I'll be able to do a lot more damage. Like, the Xurkitree should be able to knock out the Lapras in one shot with the Thunderbolts, with the Life Orb, when it's out of Dynamax. That's why I wanted Fake Tears potentially on the Weavile. I could lead with Weavile Xurkitree into the Lapras, just go for a Fake Tears, regular Thunderbolt, and that will be enough. I won't need to use the Dynamax in that case. But yeah, probably going to be Dynamaxing the Zapdos, at least planning to Dynamax the Zapdos anyway. It's got enough speed to outspeed a Garchomp at +1 speed. Didn't feel the need for Salazzle because it would have been a bit more speed that would have come out of the bulk I didn't want to take out. So always nice to just be able to go Modest because its base special attack is so much higher than the other stats. I always like to go Modest and then just don't care. Like, I don't do any special calcs. I just, if I can go Modest, then I will and just leave it there. But yeah, can't remember what the defenses did. I think it was something Garchomp Earthquakey, maybe. Maybe Stomping Tantrumy. Can't remember. Like I said, should probably record these after I actually make the EV spreads, but there we go. But yeah, like, it's a pretty standard Xurkitree. It's going to do a lot of damage. Hopefully won't need the Dynamax as well, because that is going to be reserved for this Zapdos here. So if the Dynamax has gone from not Sierra, that was last week, from Steph's side of the field, this Zapdos could come in, click Dynamax, and then potentially just sweep the rest of the team. Because there isn't actually too much for the Zapdos this week. There is the Lapras, but if the Dynamax has been stalled, I'm not going to be taking too much damage at all. There's the Magna Zone, but that's really weak to the close combat, / the Max Knuckle that can come out from the Zapdos, even though I'm probably going to Stomping Tantrum it instead, which is even better. And that's about it. Kind of Sigilyph. Don't really care about Sigilyph. Famous last words. But yeah, that's kind of it. So Zapdos definitely has the potential to just run through the team. But most likely going to be leaving it in the back unless things go completely wrong and I need to leave with Zapdos. But yeah, if I leave it in the back, there shouldn't be too much for it, and I should be able to just get off 3 big max moves and be able to put myself in a good position with some Airstreams, with some Knuckles. Then I've got the Stomping Tantrum and the Steel Wing there, so that I can have the +1s to both defenses, and Steel Wing is just a little bit of a better way to hit the Clefairy, so yeah, it's mainly for the defense boosts, but can do something against Clefairy and the Comfey as well. I guess Comfey technically counts as something for Zapdos, but Draining Kiss might do too much, so especially with the Assault Vest. And especially because I've only gone for being pretty slow and outspeeding the Salazzle after the Airstream, because I didn't want to like speed tie with a Comfey that's not going to be max speed. Like Rillaboom isn't going to be max speed either, so there's no point going fast on this Zapdos. I can afford a lot of bulk, so it's going to be able to really take some hits. If I get up my screens as well, this Zapdos is just not going to be KO'd. So yeah, the plan is I was going to say reverse sweep, but stall out Dynamax early on Steph's side of the field, then come in at some point with Zapdos and then just Dynamax and win. That is the plan. We will see how that goes. It needs to go well if I want to make playoffs, and if it doesn't, then unfortunate, so I won't be able to make it. I'll just barely miss with that 9th place, but we will see how that goes. So it's going to be the final team builder of the regular season, at least. We'll have to see if I can get a team builder for the playoffs as well.